Hey everyone, it's Deanna Fasillo with the Startup Circle, and I am talking today about why people unfollow you on social media. Now, this was a group coaching session, and what ended up happening is when I got the video, because I record these, and when I looked at the video, it was really pixelated and not a good quality at all. Hopefully, it didn't come across that way when I was doing it with everybody, but I did get your questions and it seemed like everybody's questions were answered. So I'm not really sure what happened. I guess we'll just call it a technical difficulty. But I did want to re-record it for everybody so that I can upload it and you guys can watch it now. So the topic, like I said, is why do people unfollow you on social media? So let's face it, we all work really hard to build up our social media presence, right? We want followers, we want likes, we want just people to start engaging with us. And then we notice that we start to lose people. People are not following us. Now, when I initially created this coaching session, it was really geared towards businesses. But the reality is you can look at this from a business perspective as well as from a professional perspective. So it can apply in either way. So I'm going to give you a couple bullet points about why people unfollow you on social media. The first one is that you just are not being social. You know, I mean, it is social media, and so many times we forget that we're social. That's part of it, right? We post things and we walk away. We post something on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and Biggie wants up, and we walk away from it. And here we've got people who are liking, commenting, or engaging with us, but we don't engage back. And I've said this before. I've said it in several of my workshops. I'll continue saying it, that we are human. Yes, technology has changed a lot, and technology has changed the way that, not only the way we do business, but the way that we interact with each other. And some people see the good in it, and then there's also the negative in that, right? We don't engage with people on a regular basis the way we did before. Instead of picking up the phone and having a conversation, right, we're shooting a text. We've lost a lot of different aspects because of technology. But on the flip, there's also a lot of benefits, right? Things are easier, quicker to do, and a lot more convenient, because now you can video chat with friends or family that don't live near you, and you can see them, you can see their children, you can promote your business in different ways than you did before. So there's good and there's bad. But the reality is that we are all human, and human desire and human nature does not change the way that technology has changed, right? So we want to feel included, and we want to feel acknowledged and appreciated. And so when somebody rates your Facebook page or goes to LinkedIn and writes a review, right? Thank them for taking that time. If they were in front of you giving you a compliment, I would hope that it would be almost second nature to say thank you as a response. Yet when it's happening on a digital format, it gets lost, and we don't think about saying thank you to people, or acknowledging when they comment on something that we post or something that we've shared. When you don't say anything, they may leave a comment and you just ignore it. Acknowledge it. Now, you can just hit the like that you saw it, or you can respond. Ideally, the best way to communicate would be to respond with something that's open-ended, just to encourage a conversation with them. Again, it's twofold. One is that now you are building the social relationship with somebody that you may know or you may not know at all. The second thing is it helps as far as your organic reach. It's going to help you with that. But ultimately, the reason is that you just use social media to build relationships socially, or on a digital platform. So when you stop doing that and you don't acknowledge people, they feel like unappreciated. They feel like, I took the time to give you a review. Yeah, I think your product's great, but you can't even say thank you. So they can unfollow you. The second thing to remember is that it's not all about you. It's not just about being spammy and selling your product or selling your service when you are posting on social media. If you are constantly just selling yourself and not bringing value to anybody, I'm sorry. If he hears me talking, he just has to come up. Bring value to people. Don't always be selling your product. If that's all you're doing is selling your product all the time, people are going to unfollow you. Nobody wants to be sold like that. It's spammy. Not only is it, again, Facebook is actually penalizing certain posts that do come across really spammy. They want people to be authentic, to be real, right? We've got technology, but you have to continue to be real and be human when you're posting, right? Brick and mortar may have become click and order. That may be true, right? But the human nature has not changed through the years. We still need that interaction. So bring value to people. Continue to bring value to them before you try selling them. My rule of thumb is always like 3 values and then a sale. Now, there's different things that you can do. Everybody has a little bit, I'm sure, of a different rule of thumb, and see what works for you. When it comes to social media or when it comes to marketing, there's no cookie cutter for everybody. Everybody's got a different demographic, and it just looks different. But take a look at your analytics and see what does work and what doesn't work for you. But remember, it is not all about you when you are posting on social media. Remember that it's about your fans, your followers, and what can you do to benefit them. Give them a reason to want to come back to your page and not to unfollow you. The next reason, you're just really offensive, to be honest with you. Now, I'm sure that we all saw something of this nature happen on Facebook during, or all the platforms. It wasn't just Facebook, but we saw this during the political campaign with friends and family members and whoever, saying their viewpoints, right? And having a strong viewpoint. And how many times I saw somebody say, I'm unfollowing people because of their viewpoint, or I'm unfollowing them because I can't take the political rants anymore. Or just as simple as like, they don't agree with their position. They don't agree with their stance. Now, I would think and I would hope that when you are saying things like this, that is a little bit more offensive to people, that although you shouldn't be doing it, but I would hope that it's occurring more on personal pages than it is on professional pages. But I know that it does happen on professional pages as well. And I have seen businesses, unfortunately, openly bash a competitor or throw jabs at them. And I get embarrassed for them. Be professional. We all have competition. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with competition. If you are doing your job and you're confident in the ability that you have to do your job well, it's unnecessary to bash competition. It's unnecessary to call other companies' faults out on a public platform, even a private one. It all comes to surface anyhow. The proof is in the pudding, right? So just don't do it. When people do see it, you don't know. It could be offensive. Maybe you're friends with that person. Maybe that person is in your family. Maybe just as simple as even sharing something that's happening in the media locally that's negative towards a particular person. If you choose to share that, you don't know how many people may be offended by that. Now, yes, you have freedom of speech and you can do whatever it is that you like. and it absolutely is up to you if you want to do that. But you need to be aware that people may unfollow you if that is something you want to do. Yes, you can say your political viewpoints. You may lose followers. Maybe you don't care. Maybe you do. I will say, and this is my own little personal rant, that there's like a social media etiquette. So on your personal, you can say, this is my personal platform. So it doesn't really matter what I say or what I do, because this is my personal space. It's my personal opinion. And if you don't want to be friends with me, if you don't like it, then unfriend me, unfollow me, right? Whatever. We've all heard those types of comments. But the reality is when you attach your business to your profile page on Facebook, we'll use that because that's where you kind of have like the personal and the professional are separate. If you have your company name, and let's say it's not your business, let's say you're working for another company, and you are openly making these political rants, or you're openly, say, bashing certain things that are going on in the community, you may lose followers. You are a representation of your company. Whether it's your own personal company or whether it's a company that is paying you a paycheck, you represent them, you represent their brand. Now, if you want to be open and say whatever it is that you want to say on your position on different items that might be a hot topic, whatever that hot topic might be, if you enjoy stirring the pot, maybe it's race, maybe it's sexuality, whatever. I mean, there's a million hot topics right now that it's easy to stir the pot when it comes to posting things on social media. If that's something you choose to do and it doesn't fit what your company currently does, then don't put the company you work for on your profile. Leave it blank, because you are representing that company and it looks unprofessional, and people will unfollow you and they will get a bad taste in their mouth for your company or the company that you're representing. This is another reason why people will unfollow you. Again, hopefully it doesn't happen on your business pages as much as it happens on personal, but I've seen it. I've seen it and it's embarrassing, and just don't do it. Just don't do it unless your company is something that is part of this hot topic, like Women's March, right? If you're part of the Women's March and you're active in it, then of course that's what you need to talk about, and you're going to stir the pot, and you're going to get people who totally buy into what you're saying, and you're going to get people who hate everything that you represent, but you're willing to take the risk. So just be aware. The next thing is that you go MIA, right? You go missing. You're not posting anything, and somebody goes to your page and you haven't posted anything in 6 months, in a year, in 2 years, right? People are going to unfollow you if they're like, why am I even following this page? It brings no value. Nobody's even there. Maybe they've gone out of business. I don't know, but there's no activity, so I'm going to unfollow it. The reality is that it takes a lot of time to create content for your social media platforms. To create a strategy and then to implement that strategy is not something that is quick. It takes a lot of time. It pretty much is a full-time job all in itself. So be consistent. Be consistent with your postings. To help you do that, Facebook has scheduling tools. Instagram does have a scheduling tool that you can use, not within its platform, but outside of its platform. There's Latergram and Hootsuite, and there's just different things that you can use, but it doesn't actually post for you. It just gives you an alert that you need to post. But use the scheduling tool so that it helps you with some of these times, so that you are being consistent. Consistency is key when it comes to your social media. And if you are really busy and you don't have time to post, or you feel like you don't have time to post because you are extremely busy, well, post yourself being busy, right? People love behind the scenes photos. Go live. Lives are great. That's like a whole other workshop. But go live and share what's going on, or give a picture behind the scenes. Let people relate to you. Again, it's authentic. They get to see who you are, what you're about, what your business is about, and now you're not missing. On the flip of that, right, another reason people will unfollow you, the total opposite spectrum, is that you post too much. Be strategic in your posting. Do not just show up on day 10 and post 20 different things, right, on that day. That's a sure way that people are just going to be like, my whole feed is this one business, or my whole feed is this one person. And enough is enough. Like, I'm over it. I saw it. I got the point, and I'm going to unfollow. And I've done that so many times. I don't want to see it. Seeing it once, maybe even twice, okay. When I start getting a bunch of different pictures from the same company in my feed at the same time, I'm over it. I'm totally over it. I unfollow. It's too much. It's way too much. So total opposite spectrum is you're posting too much. Another reason that people may unfollow you on social media is that you're posting content that has nothing to do with the reason that they originally followed you for. So if they followed you for fashion advice, and you are a fashion website, or you sell jewelry or clothing or boutique, or maybe you're a blogger, and I'm following your page because I love all the stuff you post. I love the fashion advice. I love the designs, the tips, and I follow you. And then all of a sudden you start posting about dinner recipes, right? Or home projects. I don't really care about home projects or dinner recipes. I might unfollow you. I don't really know, but it's more likely that if you start posting stuff that has nothing to do with the reason somebody followed you, that they're going to unfollow you. So be consistent in your branding. Make sure that you continue to post what you are really about. Don't get off track. You know, the political stuff, I know I mentioned it before, but and although offensive, even if I agreed with you and you start posting your opinion, you're a fashion blogger and you're posting your opinion on the political race or something locally that may be happening. It has nothing to do with the reason I'm following you, unless what's locally happening or the political race, it has a direct relationship with maybe the fashion industry where it makes sense. Aside from that, just don't do it. People will unfollow you. So be consistent in your brand. The last two, one of them is that your content's not original, right? You have to have really good content and let it be original. Don't just share something everybody else is sharing. Give me a reason to want to come back to your page. Give me a reason to find value in what you're posting. Make sure that it fits your brand. So make that content original. And then the last thing, and this is kind of like a catch-22, is that you don't follow people back. Now, I'm not saying that you need to follow everybody back that follows you. In fact, I would probably tell you not to follow everybody back that follows you. And the reason that I would tell you to not do that is because it has no interest to you, right? Follow the people or the businesses that have an interest in what you're doing, have a product that you're interested in, have a service that you're interested in, where they bring value to you. You don't have to follow everybody. On the opposite, you do want to follow some people that are following you, the people that you may collaborate with. If you are a boutique and you have a variety of different vendors that are in your store and they follow you, you should follow them back, right? They're your vendors. Show them the same support that they show you. And you obviously are interested in their products. You are interested in what they're posting because you're carrying their products in your store. So show them support back. If you're supporting local businesses, right? I try to follow local businesses in the area because I support them and I want to encourage them and I want to know what they're doing. And even if it's something that maybe I may not do business with, I may be able to connect them with somebody else that would have a need that it would fit, because I try to focus on local businesses. So you don't have to follow everybody, but follow what makes sense to you. Don't just be somebody, and this goes back to the other one, it's just not about you. Don't be somebody who puts out content who doesn't follow anybody else or follows like a handful of people, but wants everybody to follow them. It's not about you. Don't be selfish. It's about community. It's about who you're going to do business with. It's about, it is social media, right? But your fan base are your customers. You may not have a brick and mortar. Maybe you do, right? But your social media platform is your digital brick and mortar. So treat them the same way that you would treat them if they walked into your storefront, if they walked into your home. Human nature hasn't changed. So these are some of the reasons why people may unfollow you on social media. And we work so hard to get people to follow us that it's not that hard to keep them there. It's true that there will be some people, especially on Instagram, that follow you just to get that follow back, and then they unfollow you. That is a wicked game that's been going on Instagram. There's no solution at this point other than just monitor it. I hate the game. It's unprofessional. Don't play it. But people do. And until there's a solution for it, they're going to continue doing that. But be authentic. Be authentic in who you are. Be authentic in how you run your business. And I truly believe when you do that, it all comes back. It's all going to be beneficial. So those are some tips on why people unfollow you on social media. I hope that it helped. I apologize that I wasn't able to add the original recording, but hopefully you got some great information out of this, or at least one tip that you were able to do that maybe you thought, oh, this is me, I'm not doing this at all and I need to. Or maybe it's just a little bit of awareness of what not to fall into, because it's really easy when we're running our businesses to fall into certain traps, because let's face it, we have a lot on our plates as small business owners. So if you have any comments, questions, put them in the box below. Reach out to me, let me know. More than happy to help you. And if anything I can do, you guys, I appreciate each and every one of you. So I will see you next time in the circle. Bye.